thanks for joining us. We are Deplorable Rhetoric on WSTBR. Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. You can also reach us on Facebook at Deplorable Rhetoric, on Instagram, Deplorable_Rhetoric, and on Twitter, we rant the number 2 rate.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to She's the Boss Radio Network, 24 hours, 7 days a week, focused on topics to build, strengthen, inspire, as well as motivate men, women, and youth from the home to the conference room and around our community. I am Sigourney.
I'm Maron.
And we're Deplorable Rhetoric. Thanks for tuning in. If you would like to call, you can dial 443-272-5922. You can also check out she'sthebossradio.com. You can check us out on tunein.com, Shoutcast, or Alexa, or Siri to play She's the Boss Radio. You can also follow on Facebook at She's the Boss Radio, Twitter at She's the Boss Radio, IG WSTBRN, and Twitch and Tumblr is WSTBR. Okay, so I don't really know which one to start with, but I guess we'll just talk about COVID really quick. Again, not really seeing a whole lot of stuff going on with COVID, but there was an article in Fortune I came across, and it says the type and frequency of animals coming down with COVID is trying to tell us something about the future of the pandemic. So, I don't know how many people know this, but yes, animals can contract COVID. Actually, I think it was first discovered in animals and then eventually, unfortunately, in China passed to humans, and now here we are 2.5 years later. But it does say here that it was the first in what would become this 4-year-old Malayan tiger getting COVID. It was the first in what would become a steady stream of stories about animals who, like most of us, came down with COVID. Among the menagerie of animals who have are pets like cats, dogs, ferrets, and hamsters, zoo animals like lions, tigers, snow leopards, otters, hyenas, hippos, and manatees, mink who live on farms, wildlife including scores of white-tailed and mule deer, a black-tailed marmoset, and a giant anteater. I feel like that kind of covers a lot of different. We haven't gotten to reptiles though. I don't know if I guess they can catch it, but anyway, COVID is infamously no exception to the zoonotic diseases that animals have transferred to humans or vice versa. It's thought to have spilled over from a bat, pangolin, or raccoon dog to humans, perhaps via an intermediary like a pet, although a controversial lab leak hypothesis has not quite been completely debunked. Similarly to COVID, the H1N1 swine flu pandemic of 2009 is thought to have been caused by North American and European pigs intermingling, mixing strands of the flu, while Nile virus, which originated in arthropods and is transmitted by mosquitoes, established itself in New York City in 1999 and has since become endemic in the U.S., and monkeypox, a smallpox-related virus once endemic to Africa but now sweeping the globe, was discovered in monkeys, though it's thought to have originated in rodents. So I just thought this was interesting because a lot of people, like when I tell people my cat has diabetes, a lot of people are like, cats can get diabetes? I'm like, yeah, animals can get cancer, they can get anxiety, they can get all this stuff, almost all the stuff that humans can get. Mm-hmm. So I just thought it was interesting because a lot of people don't seem to recognize that animals can catch colds and stuff, just like humans can.
They have feelings, they have emotions.
Right, they got a central nervous system and everything just like we do. So, scientists have recently begun tracking the spread of COVID in animals on publicly available data dashboards. One launched late last month by the Wildlife Conservation Society, and Australian researchers at the University of Veterinary Medicine, Vienna, have so far documented 704 diagnoses of COVID-19 in animals worldwide in 39 countries and 27 species. Among the revelations, 117 cat and 110 dog infections have been documented in the U.S. Minks are among the most commonly identified animals with COVID, which is interesting. I don't know why, I guess I didn't expect mink. In Greece alone, 159 American minks have been diagnosed, in addition to nearly 150 in Spain and 250 in Lithuania. Most animals have been asymptomatic or experience respiratory symptoms. Mink are the most likely to die. Omicron subvariants are the most common strands strains, whatever, identified in animals, though cases of Delta have also been documented. The risk of contracting COVID from animals is small, says Dr. Mary Montgomery, a clinician educator in the Division of Infectious Disease at Brigham and Women's Hospital, a Harvard affiliated facility in Boston. And then so on and so forth. But yes, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, and I'd seen something before about it too, because I mean, I think it was around the time that animals were starting to catch it and either passing it on to their owners or vice versa, maybe. But yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. And so,
Hold on, but aren't we? What did Biden say? It's a global pandemic. No.
the CDC or the WHO said, wait, which one? COVID or?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, monkeypox, but yeah, there's nothing new with COVID. But moving on to monkeypox. So this article, also by Fortune, says that monkeypox at a daycare was only a matter of time. Expert says. Next up, pools, schools, and sports. So,
Thank God, my
so it was only a matter of time before monkeypox made it to congregate settings. Well, I wouldn't say that so soon because it's still spreading pretty fast, so anybody can catch it.
And I have a hard-headed
A
kid now.
pediatric infectious disease specialist told Fortune after Illinois state officials announced Friday that a daycare worker had been diagnosed with the smallpox related virus. And this is from 2 days ago, just FYI. There is definitely potential for spread of monkeypox in daycare, schools, college campuses, prisons, and other similar settings. So there you go. No one's safe, said Dr. Alexandria Brugler-Yantz, an infectious disease specialist at Children's National Hospital in D.C. She assisted in the FDA's review of B.O.S.S, one of 2 smallpox vaccines licensed for treatment of monkeypox, and the safer of the 2 by far. Anywhere that close physical skin-to-skin contact occurs, particularly of people who are in various stages of undress, there is risk. All children and adults at the unidentified daycare center in Champaign County, Illinois, were being screened, and no additional cases had been identified, state health officials said Friday, adding that Governor J.B. Pritzker has been in touch with the White House regarding the situation. So yeah, needless to say, you just gotta be careful. As of Friday, 7,500. Okay, let me say it a different way. 7,510 cases have been identified in the U.S., which I thought I heard 9,000 this morning, but I couldn't find anything on that. But at any rate, as of Friday, we're at 7,510 cases, with the majority of cases being in New York, which I did see they got about 9,000 vaccines. California and Florida, of course, Florida, according to data from the U.S. CDC, every state except for Wyoming and Montana had cases identified. That's interesting. More than 28,000 cases had been reported globally since January, virtually all in countries where monkeypox is not considered endemic, according to the CDC. The U.S. now leads the world in identifying cases. Go U.S. Followed by Spain, Germany, the United Kingdom, France, and Brazil. Only 345 cases have been seen since January. In African countries where the virus is considered endemic, 81 children have been affected as of late July, according to the WHO. So, Illinois health officials Friday said the FDA had authorized the use of B.O.S.S license for use in adults 18 and older for potentially affected children at the center without jumping through normal hoops. Mobile testing and vaccination services were on site, they added, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. But yeah, this is like definitely a little scary. Oh, and then here's an article headline for you. This is 12 hours ago. CDC team arrives in New York to help prevent polio outbreak. Poor New York. First it was getting hit hard by COVID, and now at the monkeypox. While they're dealing with monkeypox, they're now are also dealing with polio. So people in New York, I don't know, stay inside your homes. There's too many of y'all running around, first of all.
Right, and to me it feels like they're just trying to manage the population in New York. Because they keep getting hit.
I mean, but there's also a lot of people. I mean, and yeah, you don't necessarily hear it like about ATL or LA, but population wise, I don't know what the numbers are, but you would have to think that LA is at least comparable to New York
Yeah.
City. So it is weird, but I don't know. Maybe more people pass through New York, especially if they're coming in from like
All
Europe or
international
something.
flights, too.
So you have that, and then I don't know. I know monkeypox. If you're pretty sexually active, I mean, because it's skin on skin and stuff like that. So there's a lot of people humping in New York, I guess. But seriously, I don't know. It is interesting though. But I think it's just mostly a lot of traffic, and if you don't have people who are, at least with like COVID, because you're supposed to wear the mask. So if you don't have people doing that. But with monkeypox, I don't really know what you can do except wear long sleeves and pants. And if you do that, you're gonna die.
Just put that, what is that,
degrees
that rubber
outside.
skin?
Or like the sweatsuits or something, but bodysuit, anything where you can. But it's like 1,000 degrees outside, so anybody who does something like that is gonna pass it out.
Especially in New York in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like their winters are harsh and their summers are harsh. But yeah, and then again with the polio,
That, when you told me about the polio, I was like, hold up.
yeah, but what I didn't know is reading that one article that the last case was 10 years ago, because in my
10
mind.
years?
Yeah, remember I said it in the show. It's been a decade, but in my mind, once the vaccine came out in the early 1900s, I thought it was gone. I mean, because I never heard about another case. So, but there you go. And now the CDC is deploying a team, according to Spectrum News One. The CDC is deploying a new team, and this was I don't know. That's time right now. I was like, wow, this article came out right now. So this was from a few days ago, the 6th. Yeah, the CDC wants to deploy a team to New York to investigate a potential outbreak of polio. This comes after the virus was recently found in at least 7 wastewater samples from Rockland and Orange County. And that was another thing. I saw the headline. It didn't say what it was, but it could have been polio. But I saw it showed like bacteria in a petri dish type of thing, one of those circular ones. And it said something about a virus or a bacteria being found in water. Maybe this is what it's referring to, but yeah, there's always something floating around somewhere. But the state health department says the samples are genetically linked to the polio case identified in a Rockland County resident. But based on earlier polio outbreaks, New Yorkers should know that for every one case of paralytic polio observed, there may be hundreds of other people infected, the state's health commissioner, Dr. Mary T. Bassett, said in a statement. So, coupled with the latest wastewater findings, the department is treating the single case of polio as just the tip of the iceberg of much greater potential spread, she said. As we learn more, what we do know is clear: the danger of polio is present in New York today. We must meet these moments by ensuring that adults, including pregnant people and young children by 2 months of age, are up to date with their immunizations. The safe protection against this debilitating virus that every New Yorker needs. So officials say this is evidence of transmission, the first in the U.S. in nearly 10 years. Yeah.
I'm scared.
Oh wow! And the Orange County wastewater samples were initially collected from municipal wastewater treatment plants for COVID-19 testing. So it is concerning that polio, a disease that has been largely eradicated through vaccination, is now circulating in our community, especially given the low rates of vaccination for this debilitating disease in certain areas of our county, said Orange County Health Commissioner Irina Gelman. I urge all unvaccinated Orange County residents to get vaccinated as soon as medically feasible. So do it, guys. And on that note, we're going to break. We'll be right back.
She's the boss. Radio.
Hey, I'm Jenny
Network.
James from Neatly Done Carpet Cleaner. You've probably been home a lot more. Maybe you have kids like me who spill all the time, and you've noticed that your carpet's not looking so good. Why don't you call Neatly Done Carpet Cleaner? They use a dry extraction service, so you won't have wet carpet all day long, and you can get back to doing the things you love with your family immediately. And it's a way to make your room healthier while improving your indoor air quality. You can do tile, slate, granite, ceramic, area rugs, and yes, they're pet friendly too. Why don't you get a free, no obligation estimate today? NeatlyDoneSanAntonio.com.
She's the boss. Radio Network.
In the eye. We complicate things when all along it's just perfect as it is. Beauty is from within. It's how you feel, not as how others see you. Skincare shouldn't be complicated. She's the Boss believes skincare should be nurturing, easy to use, smell delicious, feel refreshing, and look incredible. She's the Boss Cosmetics and Skincare brings you our botanical-based skincare line that's gentle, uncomplicated, and extremely effective for men, women, and youth. Feel confident and radiate a power glow that flows from the inside out. Exude an assurance that extends from the home into the conference room. Visit us at www.shes-the-boss.com or call us at 866-494-5945 to get yours today.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? She's the boss. Radio Network.
All right, everybody, we are back, and we we thought to talk about the centrist party because we did mention it last week in discussing Democrats and Republicans. Well, it was really based off an article I had seen that Andrew Yang and a couple of other people had decided that, you know what, we're tired of Democrats, we're tired of Republicans, let's do this centrist party thing. And I don't know.
I personally agree that Republicans and Democrats have worn their welcome. Like, we're not getting anywhere with these two.
Right.
The infighting, the childish behavior. Nobody has taken a belt out and beat both of them with it. It's ridiculous at this point. But there are other parties like the Libertarian, the Tea Party, but they're silent. There's no, they don't have the backing to be in the forefront to speak, because anytime they oppose anything, it really doesn't matter because the majority is either Democrat or Republican. But we need a strong third party or fourth party. Somebody to challenge them.
Some more options.
Yeah, if I can only get apple and oranges, that's it. That's my whole choice. But if you give me other options, I can choose better. It's you know, I'm an informed person. But with these two parties dominating forever, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm unaffiliated, but I get bombarded with both parties sending me something, and I'm like, okay, can I get somebody else?
Yeah, luckily I don't get anything Republican.
Yeah, I get stuff,
I hardly get
speaking
anything
on
Democrat,
education from the Republican Party's mind state, and then I'll get something from the Democratic mindset, and it's just opposing, and they're only slinging mud at each other.
Yeah.
The Republicans did this. We're going to do this. No, you're not going to do anything, because, again, at the end of the day, based on what you've shown me, you can't do anything you promised to do.
Yeah, and I think part of that too is having like the same ideals. Like, yeah, you guys might have different beliefs. Like Democrats and Republicans have different beliefs, but when it comes down to like character and principle and morals, you know, a lot of it is the same old. And it's still, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, you're gonna believe in what you believe in, but is it really for the American people? Is it and I don't know why this is really the only example I can think of, but as far as like Pelosi, okay, you think, oh, I'm not progressive, but you think, oh, Democrat, you know, left-leaning, blah, blah, blah. But then yet, when it came to this Christopher Columbus statue that clearly should not be up, in my opinion, you lose your whole shit just because you're Italian, you know, and so what? He came over here, him and his people raped people, gave them diseases, killed them, everything else, and you're sitting here wanting to celebrate him just because you're Italian? Like, and?
Mussolini was Italian.
I'm not sitting there rooting for the DC sniper just because he was black. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, that doesn't
Right.
make sense. So, I say that just to say that, again, everybody has their own principles and stuff like that, but it's coming to a head where we do need something different, and people that have different principles and that actually care about the people. And the crazy thing is, the people that do rather, in my opinion, stay kind of local and grassroots, because that's kind of where I guess they feel like change can be made. And I don't want to say real change, because yes, federally real change can happen because they govern a lot of policies and laws and stuff like that. But also a lot of things, like you were always saying with the city council, like they're in charge of money. If you want to know where stuff's going, talk to them.
Watch 'em.
Or
Don't talk to 'em, watch 'em.
Right. I guess they can't lie to you. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's definitely time, and I mean, hell, you can add in a fifth and a sixth party too if you
That's
want
what-
to,
yeah, I
because
agree.
again, it gives us more options. And I mean, I don't know. We don't know if this third party thing could work, but Andrew Yang and his people.
I mean,
we'll
it's been
see.
tried before, and of
Right.
course, they get swallowed up by backed people. The party that's backed the most always gets the lead.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these small, fairly unknown parties, they don't get, like I said, they can stand there in the Senate and they are representing their state. And they can argue why they don't agree with either Democrat or the Republican bill. And they're just standing there wasting their time talking because their vote doesn't count. Which kills me, because you're only here, why your vote counts is because you have tobacco, NRA, oil backing you, and pharmaceutical.
That's all money, money, money.
Yeah. So because these companies, these Fortune 500s have given you money so you can curb the policy to fit their agenda, which you have. And that's the thing. It's been going on for too long. We keep talking about gun laws and don't impede my Second Amendment right.
Yeah.
I get it. I believe that people should have the right to be armed.
Yeah.
But assault weapons?
There's a
You're not at
difference.
war.
There's a
but-
difference between like a pistol and assault, or even
Yeah,
9mm
a
assault.
handgun. Yeah, a
Yeah, it's
handgun
like you
versus an
don't-
assault weapon.
don't
Right.
need
And that's
that.
the thing. I just wish that they could have come together and amended the bill
Yeah.
to reflect the unnecessary usage of assault weapons in country. The only reason anybody should have an assault rifle or assault weapon, an automatic assault weapon, should be a military person,
Yeah. Not a cop.
not a cop. And why do these cops have tanks and remember when Freddie Gray was
saw it the
killed,
other day,
the
actually.
tank that was sitting there with the big satellite in the front? Like, to me, it was just, it wasn't
Like, what y'all
necessary.
expecting to find here? Like, what do y'all expecting to
Why
find
do
here?
our
Like, that's what
cities,
I'm
like,
saying.
to me, growing up in DC, my thing was, I never saw anything like that. With all the
Yeah.
crap that was going on in DC in the 80s, wasn't nothing like that out there.
Yeah.
These cops were out there fighting the crimes themselves.
Yeah, it's a different mindset. Even then. I mean, 84. I mean, I say 84 because that's the year I was born, so the math is easier. So that was 38 years ago. But I mean, yeah, it's not all that long ago. You know
Right.
what I mean? That, it's just, I don't know. So much stuff has changed. I swear, since the
And
80s.
these
The
cops,
technology,
they have
everything.
guns,
It's just-
tasers, and the billy clubs, the this, the that, and they're terrified
yeah.
to be out there. As soon as they come out of their cruiser, they're terrified.
And I think that's normal because you don't know what the other person's gonna do.
And the other person
But-
doesn't know what you're going to do.
But the thing is, well, from the cop's perspective, the thing is though, you're the cop in the situation. So yeah, keep your hand on your gun, but be very
No.
vigilant about what you're doing.
Your hand should never be on your gun if it's a traffic stop.
Oh,
If
I'm
you-
not thinking that. That's
Yeah,
why.
but I mean, if it's a
I'm not-
crime, it's a big crime. I
I'm
get
thinking
it.
about you about to go into a house. And you
But
don't know
that's
what to expect.
different. That's different. I'm
I know,
talking
that's
about
what I'm
these.
saying.
Yeah, and then I'm talking about these cops that come out of their car on a traffic stop because you ran the red light
Yeah.
or you ran through the stop sign or
But
whatever
even
it
that,
is.
that's hard because I just read a week or two ago a cop just got shot and killed at a traffic stop, and that happens all the time. So I get it why they would be a little bit more vigilant and stuff like that.
I disagree. Sandra Bland was one of the main reasons why I say this.
That's a whole different
Exactly.
thing. My
Everybody
thing
always
is,
has an opinion on
right,
when
so
they
you're
should
talking
and
about something
shouldn't.
that I'm not talking about. What I'm talking about is when you stop a car because you're like, oh, your tail light's out, you're speeding, whatever. She died in jail. So
Did you watch the whole video from when she was pulled over until she died in jail?
I don't think so. I don't know.
The whole interaction was all wrong.
And that's fine, but I'm still saying you can't deny that cops are going up to these cars and saying, hey, I saw that you were speeding, and then get shot and killed. It's happened. It's happened a lot.
And how many people the police have pulled over have been shot and killed?
That's not my point. That's not what we were just talking about. You're bringing something else into it. What I'm trying to say is that, because you said something off my comment about keeping your hand on your gun. You don't have to if you don't want to, but my thing is just protect yourself because you don't know what the other person's going to do too. But the thing of it is, yes, if you want to go that route, yes, there are bad cops who are also doing things like Freddie Gray, what's his name? I always mess his name up. Philando, Sandra Bland, all of them. Yes, there are those people, but then there are also cops that are just doing their job that are also getting shot. That's the side that I'm talking about.
There's good people on both sides, yeah.
Okay, whatever. So that's the side that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about wherever you're going. So, and the thing of it is, like, and I understand you don't like cops. You have a very big disdain for cops.
No, I don't have a disdain for cops.
Because you always say you don't like cops. That's why I
don't like the ones that I've encountered. The ones that have.
But every time we talk, you generalize and talk about.
Okay, then I don't like cops, but I do have friends that are cops. I do have friends that are cops. I understand there's good cops and there's bad cops. My issue is that there's policy. They're trained to do certain things, and they never seem to, the bad ones I'm talking about, they never seem to either know the constitutional right of the citizen that they're pulling over. They ramble out some stuff, and this is from my experiences, ramble out things that have nothing to do with this person and nothing to do with this stop. And when they don't find what they're looking for in the first original stop, they come up with so many different things, and Mandy would be one of the people to tell you what happened. They came up with 5 reasons why this stop was happening.
Right, and I get that's your experience, but it's not everybody's. That's all I'm saying.
It's more so than that.
I don't
You've
know.
never had to deal with it, so
No.
I commend you for never having to deal with it. But there are a lot of us that have.
Right. I mean, I can't say.
Right.
So getting back to the third party.
Sorry about that.
Other parties like the Reform Party, the Greens, or this is the
Reform
Guardian.
Party?
The Guardian.
Okay.
This is from the Guardian. Other parties like the Reform Party, the Greens, or the Libertarians have never really broken through. In 2021, as the fallout from the 2020 election continued, polling showed widespread support among Americans for a fresh third party that would offer something different from the status quo. Even a majority of self-identified Republicans said they wanted a new party in the mix. This should be prime ground then for the Forward Party, founded in July by a group of self-defined centrists, including the former Democratic president candidate, Andrew Yang, and former Republican New Jersey Governor Christine Todd Whitman. People wanted a third party, and they have been given one that has boasted of already raising more than $5 million. So what are the chances of Yang in winning office and holding forth on the floors of the U.S. Capitol? Slim to none, says Marjorie Hershey, professor emeritus of political science at Indiana University Bloomington, with an emphasis on none. Someone was saying third parties face resource problems. For one thing, Forward's $5 million pales in comparison with the $1 billion Joe Biden raised from donors during his 2020 campaign. Yeah, that's not good. And Donald Trump raised $774 million from donors, according to Open Secrets, which sounds like a sex store. Jeez. While data from the Federal Election Commission shows that House and Senate candidates raised $4 billion between January 1, 2019, and 31. Okay, up here. This is a European person saying this. January 1st, 2019 and December 31st, 2020, spending $3.8 billion. But we have to go to break. We'll be right back.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think?
She's the Boss Enterprises, in collaboration with Get It In Island Cuisine 2, presents WSTBRN, She's the Boss Radio's second Thursday's networking mixer. Every second Thursday of the month, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., we will be highlighting a business once a month, radio opportunities, advertising, conversations, great food and drinks. So come on out and enjoy $3 rum punches, $5 Tito's vodka, and $7 catfish platters. For more information on this event and others, follow us on all our social media pages. Facebook, we are She's the Boss Radio. Twitter, we are She's the Boss Radio without the O. IG, Twitch, and Tumblr, we are WSTBRN. Or go out to www.she'sthebossradio.com. We make radio first so that your vision will be heard. If you would like to shine a light on your business during Second Thursdays, please email us at info@she'sthebossradio.com using the hashtag in the subject line, shine a light on it.
Beauty's in the eye. We complicate things when all along it's just perfect as it is. Beauty is from within. It's how you feel, not as how others see you. Skincare shouldn't be complicated. She's the Boss believes skincare should be nurturing, easy to use, smell delicious, feel refreshing, and look incredible. She's the Boss Cosmetics and Skincare brings you our botanical-based skincare line that's gentle, uncomplicated, and extremely effective for men, women, and youth. Feel confident and radiate a power glow that flows from the inside out. Exude an assurance that extends from the home into the conference room. Visit us at www.shes-the-boss.com or call us at 866-494-5945 to get yours today.
We don't break the laws. We just make up our own. The internet's best choice for music. She's the boss. Radio Network.
Okay, we're back to continue our discussion about centrism. So I found this website. I don't know who's running it or who's a part of it. I've been trying to find that out. But it's called the Centrist Party, Common Sense for America, uscentrist.org, if anybody's interested. But it does talk about the party itself. And I guess I always thought the centrist party was being moderate because you think of central, moderates are usually in the center. But according to this article, that is not really the case. It says the centrist party is about taking the strongest stance possible based on evidence and reason in order to protect the interests of the citizens of the United States and the principles of our Constitution. Something centrism is about compromising or moderation. The centrist party is considerate of such things, but only when no other options exist. Hence, centrism is more about achieving common sense solutions that fit current and future needs, ensuring the public trust, serving the common good, and securing the nation. Now, to me, all these things sound good because I'm sure if you go on a general Republican website or Democratic, you'll hear the same things. But I mean, it definitely sounds good. I mean, you want to use evidence and reason in order to protect the citizens or the interests of the citizens. I mean, yeah.
But that's how all parties start. Yeah, that's how all parties start off. And then money comes in, rolling in, and somebody says, hey, do me a favor. I'll do this for you if you do this for me.
Right.
And things just go awry.
Yeah, I also happen to see a libertarian on here. It has like the three circles, and then you got the piece in the middle that intersects. So apparently that's supposed to be the centrist party. It says pragmatism, evidence, reason, and logic. And it says right wing equals corporate and liberalism. Libertarian is liberty and liberalism. And left wing is socialism, liberalism. But for those who don't know or who keep forgetting like me what libertarianism is, it's a political philosophy that upholds liberty as a core value. Libertarians seek to maximize autonomy and political freedom and minimize the state's violation of individual liberties, emphasizing free association, freedom of choice, individualism, and voluntary association. I could get behind that, but I think there has to still be some sort of regulations. I mean, the total like max autonomy, we can't leave people up to their own devices.
It feels like that's
what it means.
Yeah. Yeah, and it feels like that's what's going on right now.
Right. True, especially with abortion is getting more autonomous. Well, state, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it all sounds good. All these sound. I mean, you could pick something out of everything, and when you have good writers to make your party sound good,
Mm-hmm.
but then when you actually see them, like I don't know, besides Gary Johnson who ran, uh, he the only things I remember about him is he wanted to raise taxes and he wanted to legalize marijuana, and then he didn't know the capital of some state. Was
Yes.
that it? Yeah, I think the capital of some state or country or something. So that's all I remember about Gary Johnson. He seemed very goofy to me. Could I compare him to Boris Johnson? I don't know. Yeah, and the goofiness, but maybe
Goofiness, yes,
Yeah.
but I think Boris had a little bit more knowledge,
Yeah.
and that's hard to say. That's the bar going really low.
Right. But yeah, and again, if we could somehow, I mean, if there could somehow be a party that kind of encompassed everything, that would be great. But that's just not going to happen, and that would be too complicated. But but yeah, so it breaks it down even more here. So for the left wing social liberalism, it does talk about the left wing promotes overly idealistic policies that can weaken the strength of the nation. Okay, they do this while claiming weakening national rights makes the country stronger. All right. So right wing or corporate liberalism, the right wing promotes profit and deregulation, weakening citizens' rights in support of corporate rights. They do this while lying to the people that they are doing it to protect the rights of the people. Libertarians support deregulation in the name of capitalism. This risks national security and individual rights.
Yeah.
They do this while saying they support individual rights, but the result is less support for the nation of the people. Yeah. And so for them, I guess between right and left, it says the centrist party combines national security with citizens' rights, creating balance and reducing extremist and overly costly policy. Between right wing and libertarian, it says centrist party combines capitalism with well-reasoned policy to ensure national security, citizens' rights, and earn prosperity. And between left and libertarian, centrist party combines citizens' rights, liberty, and justice in support of the United States of America. And the centrist party is designed by evidence-based, rational, analytical, pragmatic, judicious, and promotes stability.
I want to see that in practice before I can make a decision. Like to me,
Yeah.
you can say whatever, but if I can't see it working,
Because we can say that again about all the parties. We talk about conservatism. One of their big things is taxes. I'm all for having low taxes too, but I also
it doesn't make
understand-
sense though.
Right, but I also understand the need for higher taxes sometimes, or having a flat state tax or something. But yeah, you can pull things from everything. As far as it says left wing and social liberalism. I don't know if I'd go that far left, but because I don't feel like most liberals are social liberalists. but yeah. So, again, you can pull something from every party. And yeah, the centrist party sounds like it would be the most logical because it seems to have common sense stuff going on there. But like you said, I would definitely want to see it in practice, to see them in the committee hearings or in Congress or wherever making these decisions. I would need to see all this stuff in practice. So Andrew Yang and Whitman and whoever else is with them, they have some big shoes to fill.
But not even big shoes. But like I said,
a lot of third parties fail.
Yeah, and that's my biggest fear. Is like, okay, Democrat and Republican have dominated the political arena for so for so long that can we like I'm tired of eating the same thing. Can we move forward? Like, can we try to add some spice to it?
Right. But I'm just really really curious to know why a lot of those other ones have failed. But it does say here that Forward, which is the name of Yang, Whitman's, and whoever else's party, the centrist party, it was launched on July 23rd and was formed from 3 existing political groups. The Renew America movement, made up of dozens of former Republican administration officials. The Forward Party, which was founded by Yang after his failed bid to become the Democratic Party's nominee for New York City mayor. And the Serve America movement, which is a centrist group of Democrats, Republicans, and independents. Now, the rigid top-down, one-size-fits-all platforms of the outdated political parties are drifting towards the fringes, making solutions impossible, Forward's website reads. We stand for doing, not dividing. That means rejecting the far left and far right and pursuing common ground. The party's mission, not left, not right, forward, as its slogan lays out, is a noble one, but there are doubts about what a centrist party might actually look like and stand for. So
Yeah, and that's my only thing. It's like I need to see it in practice. Oh my God, I do not want to see that little. He
so
looks
it's
like a little alien.
a picture of Clinton, Perot, and Bush won in 1992 presidential debate, and we all know the outcome of that.
Yeah,
So-
and that was hilarious.
So yeah, he had to have done one if he's gonna be sitting there debating. Because remember we were talking about which presidents to do. Yep. So I forgot all about Perot. I
Yeah.
think he died recently.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, speaking of dying, Sandy, Olivia
Oh.
Newton-John is a real name, but Sandy from Greece, 73, R.I.P. And then Anne Heche, I don't know if you remember her.
Yeah.
She's in a coma from a car accident and is not looking too well. So hopefully she's able to.
That was
pull through.
Ellen DeGeneres' old.
Yeah, old flame. Yep. Like 100 years ago. But
That's about how old Ellen DeGeneres is.
yeah, she's about 199, something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I mean, but like you, I am curious to see this in action. It could be a good thing, but they have so far to go, and money alone, which sucks. And that's, you remember Christie, that was one of the big things with her, is that it shouldn't really take big money for people to be able to go out there and campaign and be voted for. But we're in America.
But
So-
also, though, my thing is, okay, like I said, I want to see it in action. These
Yeah.
people are coming out of where? Have you had any
You mean
political?
Yang and Whitman?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I know Whitman had
What-
history in politics.
Right. What
But,
state was she?
I
already.
want to say Colorado.
No, I just said it earlier.
Can't remember.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
New
but
Jersey.
Yeah, so she had background in politics. But
Yeah.
Andrew Yang, as loud and as visible as he was, if he could have had some kind of history, I believe in seeing what you like your practices.
Yeah.
If in city council, mayor, governor, whatever, I need to see your ideas and your
Right.
beliefs in practice to see how successful that was in small sections and
Yeah.
grow.
And even as a business owner, or not even an owner, but someone who has to hire somebody, you want to see the resume, you want to see where they've been, what they've done, and like, okay, well, this job requires a license, but you want to come in and you only have a high school diploma, that's not gonna work. Sorry.
Right.
But I mean, hey, I give you an A for trying, but you
Yeah.
won't be getting this
A
job.
plus.
And I think that has to also extend out to everybody else in politics. Yeah, I mean, you have to have some sort of groundwork. And to me, it would be nice if it was political, meaning like city council, something like that. But yeah, even if you did a lot of grassroots stuff or community organizing, was a lawyer, but still, at some point,
Yeah,
I need
but-
you to have made decisions in politics.
Yeah, my whole thing is like this is just my preference. Anybody that I vote for, I want to be able to look and see what you have done to better your community, your
Right.
city, your state, and your community.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I really need to see it because honestly, I say get rid of all of them and start over.
Yeah, and I think people get too hung up on just trying to be seen and look good that they forget about their communities and stuff like that. But before we go to break, I know I was talking about third parties failing, so this line, most third parties have failed, caught my eye, but this was
At the forward.
I don't know who's writing this, but in an op-ed in the Washington Post titled "Most Third Parties Have Failed," here's why ours won't. Yang Whitman and David Jolly, another co-founder who was previously a Republican congressman from Florida and executive chairman of the Serve America movement, appeared to offer disingenuous arguments for why their efforts were required. Disingenuous, okay. On guns, Forward suggests that most Americans are rightfully worried about the far right's insistence on eliminating gun laws, but don't agree with calls from the far left to confiscate all guns and repeal the Second Amendment. I mean, I feel that's kind of where you and I have been a little bit. Like,
Well,
yeah,
I don't-
have
I don't-
guns, but don't.
Assault
You don't need to
rifles.
take
That's
them.
my issue.
Right.
That's my only issue.
Um,
is assault rifles.
All right, well, unfortunately, we do have to go to break, and we will be back with a special guest.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think? You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think?
She's the Boss Enterprises, in collaboration with Get It In Island Cuisine 2, presents WSTBRN. She's the Boss Radio's second Thursday's networking mixer. Every second Thursday of the month from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., we will be highlighting a business once a month, radio opportunities, advertising, conversations, great food and drinks. So come on out and enjoy $3 rum punches, $5 Tito's vodka, and $7 catfish platters. For more information on this event and others, follow us on all our social media pages. Facebook, we are She's the Boss Radio. Twitter, we are She's the Boss Radio without the O. IG, Twitch, and Tumblr, we are WSTBRN. Or go out to www.she'sthebossradio.com. We make radio first so that your vision will be heard. If you would like to shine a light on your business during Second Thursdays, please email us at info@she'sthebossradio.com using the hashtag in the subject line, shine a light on it.
Yeah, that's the sound of today's business community. It's a dog-eat-dog world and only the strong survive. The challenge is navigating the ever-changing business environment to put your business in the forefront. So how does your business keep up with the changes? That's where She's the Boss Network comes in. She's the Boss Network is an internet media network that's been helping businesses like yours get the exposure that you're looking for at reasonable cost by way of radio and video. They'll help you stay successful by navigating change and seeing the big picture. After She's the Boss Network analyzes your business and marketing strategies, you'll start to see a media presence like you've never seen in your business before. And She's the Boss Network doesn't stop there. They use their findings to create a practical plan of action, a plan that will get your business from where you are to where you need to be. There you go. Lock those dogs up for good by giving She's the Boss Network a call at 866-494-5945, extension 101, or by checking their website at she'sthebossradio.com. Again, that's 866-494-5945, extension 101, or she'sthebossradio.com.
We don't break the laws. We just make up our own. The internet's best choice for music. The Boss Radio Network.
All right, y'all. So we are here with our first guest ever, Danielle Frisbee. We've known you for quite a minute now. You helped us kind of
With
get
this.
DPR on track. Yeah, really to get DPR on track and helped us focus and really build to where we are now. So thank you for that, first of all.
Thank you.
But
You're welcome.
you are here to talk about you.
I mean, I think, well, first of all, thank you for that. Even before I talk about me, let's talk about like the fact our partnership allowed me to be in this seat just as much as you're in this seat too.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that.
Very much so, yeah.
So when I'm not doing that, I'm with these kids, right?
Yes, let's get in with these kids.
So
Save the kids.
right. I mean, listen.
One
so
child at a time.
it's a lot. So the organization that I run is Unboxing Change. We train students pre-K through college to create community impact events in their classroom and their communities. So with that has been going on for the last like 3 years. Where how do we make sure the students that we're in front of have voice, have vision, but then more importantly have transferable skills for them to like apply what they're learning with us into things that they actually want to do in the world. Like how are they really being a great citizen, finding ownership in their communities, in their neighborhoods. So that's what
That's
we
a big
do.
task.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a lot of conversation before
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
When we work with students, no matter the grade, it's about like what do they see as change or what they want to change. And that's why we start in the classroom first before we have them like go into their own personal backyards or places that need more support or like a spotlight. Like it's like, well, you know, what's up with your friend next to you? Like, why are you not participating or not? I don't want to say that, but like, you know, what's going on in your immediate sphere before we
That
think about how
prevention.
you can, change the world. So that's what we do every day.
Yeah, and we were just before we came back on talking about one of the last things I had seen you guys were doing, which was the camp. You said it was a literacy camp. So talk to us about that. How did that go?
So
Who's
camp
running it?
camp as a whole was a big initiative for Unboxing Change, just to like tackle it for the summer. So we are still in out of our infancy in our toddler years. So camp, the vision that we had was, how do we do free and reduced camps? How do we also do virtual
That's a
camps?
big one.
Yeah,
Free and reduced.
right.
God.
So to be able to combine with clients and community partners on free initiatives, but then also working with community partners and activators on reduced cost initiatives, and then Unboxing Change taking over the virtual side of things for students to be able to connect continuously with us throughout the summer because of programs or opportunities like Planet Fitness was huge for us this summer. They made teen passes so the students could go to the gym
wow.
for free.
Oh, wow.
And that started with our middle
Planet
school.
Fitness?
Yeah, huge. And this was across the nation. So this wasn't even just like specific to Maryland. So to be a part of that announcement and to be able to reap the benefits of being able to say, hey, students, you guys can go starting at middle school. So that was one of those like activities that we were able to drive traffic to. The virtual space was creating spaces for students to continuously meet with us and each other over the summer, calling that camp for the students that just don't have like a place to go.
Right.
But like branding those as spaces where it's like, all right, every Sunday we're coming together. We're going to talk about your plan for the summer. What are you doing? So creating a sense of community on that virtual end. Then going to like the free stuff where our amazing community partner, Hometown Lenders, they put on, they came up with this vision of teaching students the business behind the MBA. So that was the premise of the camp, where it's like, not only were the students going to be able to learn the business, all the different careers that make up the MBA, but then also allowing students, middle school specifically, to play and learn at the same time. And then we've got our reduced camps where another community partner, Fresh to the Soul, has been able to create basketball camps that are at a lower cost so more students can play. So yeah, that was a big undertaking, like figuring out like those,
I mean, I can imagine.
making it profitable at the same time where you guys aren't paying, but then we still have to pay out. But yeah.
But quick question. How does a person that's not able to physically be at the camps, how do they get to you? Is there buses?
That I roll my eyes because that's the goal, right? Because that transportation, especially on the free realm of camp, was a big deal. So we had to really almost like cherry pick the students that we knew could go, right? But then also figuring out which students would be receptive to this is low key summer school, but it's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, because they were triggered. They were triggered, right? Because they'd be like, what is this?
Would have been
What's this packet? Where I'm like, yo, chill, yo, go upstairs. But exactly, like, what do you mean? It's a budget, chill. But yeah, but in reference to transportation, it was really leaning on our other community partners that already are keepers of children, making sure that we could figure out who can take us to here. Because we were in St. Timothy's in Pikesville, beautiful all girls boarding school, but not on anybody's bus line, or everybody's Uber was $1 million. So, but yeah, so we were able to just work with parents and people that knew that they could get their kids there. But then we also had that virtual element. So those students, because it was free. So those students that could not attend with us, they were able to attend like 3 or 4 sessions online to still have that education, still have that that camaraderie with other students. So yeah.
Is it possible to have like, I mean, I know there's always money and stuff involved in things, but like having drivers so people can attend in person if they, or, in the future, maybe in the next.
I think
couple years,
that's the move. For us to start to look at transportation is a big deal. So right now we're currently working within 5 different schools in the city. 2 different universities in the state, and not to mention our partnerships within the county schools. So that's a lot of transportation in itself, just for me. So like I'm the very first person that needs transportation, right? So, but then
gas card or
right, like something. Well, I don't even want to drive anymore at this point because of the fact I want to just focus on like where I'm going. But I say all that to say that a transportation relationship is on the way, and anybody that's listening, right?
Yes.
Because we will need to get to the point where we're able to transport our community, especially with my college kids, making sure that they are able to go out to these experiences that we create. I have a wonderful team at Morgan State University this year, like wonderful. I have a lot of paid interns, number one, amen. But yeah, so with that, we're only going to be drawing more traffic. We're only going to be putting more students in situations where they can service and support community. And I do not want them to have to Uber. I don't want them to have to figure out like what they can afford to do that.
That's one more stressor for them.
Yeah. So I know that the stars will align. God will be able to put us in a place where we can have that transportation relationship, and it'll be a maximum benefit to both ourselves as an organization, but the transportation people is too.
I mean,
if it benefits the kids,
awesome.
and that's what I always say, and Sigourney would attest to it, that we have to start with these kids first.
Yes.
Because we've already been set in our ways.
Yes.
Like nothing is going to change us.
Yeah.
So let's
it's or we haven't been brought to that change as of yet, right? Like,
what is it? Alicia says you got to hit rock bottom to want to change.
Yeah, you do.
You hear that a lot with drugs.
Yeah.
But mindset, right? Like even, and then also parents and people, adults were tired. And then we also, like, the pandemic really blew everything out of the water, where you're like, wait a minute, nobody's coming? Yeah. There's no answer for this. Like, we don't know what to do. So everybody had to really do some soul searching. But the children are the ones that had those massive blackouts.
Yes.
They did not, like, especially when we're thinking about multi-children homes, where it's like, wait a minute. I mean, for us, it was great because, well, number one, you know, Jordan has a different life. That's my son, right? You know what I mean? But virtual school was like mom camp for me, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this. But I'm not your traditional mom, right? Yeah. And we only have one. Yeah. So when you have multiple children, right? We have multiple children with special needs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's a lot of other variables there. Yep. I was just looking at your Instagram account, and
student ran too.
What did you say?
The Instagram is student ran. So
really?
Nice.
Yes. So
I can't trust my kids on that.
The best thing about our IG, all of our socials are social experiments, in the sense where, you know, Unboxing Change has been very successful because we are by invitation only. So what that means is that we're more likely to contact you than you to find us. Yeah. Right. Which so with that allows our social and, you know, to be student managed. Like when they want to post something or something needs to go out, that's something that they create.
Okay, so they're filming, they're just making all of this.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So the last thing that it's on there, I believe the Franciscan Center, we had to be on site for that. We didn't have students for that, but I'll go live. But any other stuff, that's them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen some live, but I've seen some blood drives, and when you're out there handing out book bags. And stuff. I was gonna say you guys have been all over the place. You know, with the number of things that you're doing, but it's even more amazing that it's student ran. That's surprising.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why there's a lot of stuff that's not, like, we had 19 events from spring break all the way to the end of the school year that are all like in a Dropbox that I have to go through. But
it's empowering for these kids to be able to be entrusted.
Even seeing the barbers, so they just got a bunch of barbers together for Father's Day, and so the people that they were cutting was just. Was it people just couldn't afford haircuts?
So
and stuff,
the Franciscan Center services and supports multiple people in the Baltimore City area, right? But there are people with challenges, people in transition. Predominantly, we're servicing men on that day, so homeless or needing additional support services. So they already have a great following, a great group. They do a free lunch every single day, so they have a community already that stands up for them. We partner with the Franciscan Center to do the UBC barbershop, so Unboxing Change Barbershop. So we have pop-up barbers that just want to come up and like serve and support. This is our second year doing it with them.
Great. Okay. Well, we do have a minute left, so what is it in that minute you would like to say about what you do, your social media, all that good stuff?
Nothing. Nothing. I think that we're all like super excited for the school year, and I just pray that everybody continues to be focused on what that looks like for them and their child. Everybody needs to join the PTA, the PTO, before they do anything. Like, join those organizations in your school, and they need to volunteer, go through the background check, and show up. Yeah, that's it. You can follow us from there because we'll find you.
Right. And Unboxing Change on social media. So they're not hard to find.
That's her name, yeah.
But that's not, they're not hard to find. But Danielle, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in
You're
and
welcome.
talking about what you do. I've been wanting clarity for some time, but now it's just so awesome what you've been doing. And
Thank
so,
you.
yeah, we need more people like you in your organization out there for
Mhm.
sure.
I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, so this is the end of our show. Thank you for listening to She's the Boss Radio, which is 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can follow, you can go to tuning.com or Shoutcast, watch us, ask Alexa or Siri to play She's the Boss Radio. You can also follow She's the Boss Radio on Facebook, She's the Boss Radio on Twitter, WSTBRN on IG, and WSTBR on Twitch and Tumblr. And we're Deplorable Rhetoric. We can be found on Instagram and Facebook, and at We Rant to Rave on Twitter. Talk at y'all next Tuesday.
But yeah.
We don't break the laws. We just make up our own. The internet's best choice for music. She's the boss. Radio